This is Sunday Magazine. I'm Brian Hughes. My guest this morning is Mattias Wallander, the CEO of USAgain. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Brian.
Tell me about your company. I understand you have a division in Wilkes-Barre and you take care of the recycling of textiles.
That's correct. We've been operating in this area since 2005, and we have 19 employees. We have approximately 1,000 collection points in Pennsylvania, and we collect used clothes and shoes that still have usable life in them.
That's interesting. Do you find, even with a bad economy, that people are still throwing out used clothing and shoes?
There is so much used clothing looking for a home. Even in the recession, 85% of the clothing ends up in landfills, according to EPA figures. And that's some 11 million tons of clothing being trashed every year.
That's interesting. According to those statistics, only 15% of that amount of textiles that are discarded are ever recovered for reuse or recycling. So you're kind of doing a pretty big service for the environment.
Yeah, and most people don't realize that there is so much clothing that's not recycled compared to so many other products, paper, plastic, aluminum. We really don't have a very effective infrastructure for capturing all this clothing and shoes. And that's where we come in. We compete against the garbage can to try to capture some of that 85% that are going into landfills.
Tell me a little bit about the background of your company, USAgain.
We started in '99 in Seattle, and we have been growing ever since. We have now operations in 17 states, a little over 10,000 collection bins. And last year we saw a 25% growth. This year we project between 10 and 15% growth. And we think that ultimately we should be capturing not 15% but 50% of the clothing. So that's our goal.
What an ambitious goal indeed. This is Sunday Magazine. Guest this morning is Mattias Wallander, CEO of USAgain, a company that recycles textiles, and quite a few textiles indeed. Your company has about 1,000 drop boxes throughout Pennsylvania. Tell me where you're located in Wilkes-Barre.
We're located on South Empire Street. We have a warehouse where we receive the clothing when we have collected it from our bins, and we bundle it in half-ton bundles, and that's how we ship the clothing to wholesalers, graders, thrift stores, domestically and all over the world. We ship to Central America and even as far as Africa and Asia.
Now, is this a field that you have to yourself, or do you have quite a few competitors in the line of textile recycling?
There are several hundred companies that collect used clothing, and some of them are, of course, well-known names that have been around for 100 years. We're one of the few companies that are aiming for a nationwide presence, and you'll recognize our branded bins and trucks, and so we're really aiming for a professional nationwide presence.
Now, I understand your company partners with local businesses and schools to host the clothing drop boxes where folks can dispose of unwanted clothing, shoes, and any other textiles.
That's correct. We partner with a lot of schools. This month, for Earth Month, we have a contest where the 3 schools that collect the most clothing per student win prizes. And year-round, the schools, they earn for every pound that they collect, so it's also a fundraiser for schools.
This is Sunday Magazine. Guest this morning, Mattias Wallander, CEO of USAgain, a company in the textile recycling industry. Now, tell me more about the textile recycling. Are we seeing more people just doing that, or are a lot of people just discarding it at dumps?
No, we see more and more people recycling their clothes. I think there is a growing awareness that it makes sense, and as it becomes more and more convenient to dispose of your clothing, then people want to participate. We just did a national survey that found that 84% find convenience to be an important factor when they decide where to dispose of their used clothing. And we think we fill an important niche by having conveniently placed collection bins.
Well, convenience and doing right for the environment. You can't beat that.
No.
This is Sunday Magazine guest Mattias Wallander, CEO of USAgain, company in the textile recycling industry. And you have a Wilkes-Barre division located on South Empire Street. Been in business there since 2005, correct?
That's correct. And listeners can also see what's going on our website, USAgain.com. We have a search where you can put in your zip code and find the nearest collection bins and see what events are going on in your area.
Okay, Mattias, anything else you want to tell us about your company and the industry of textile recycling?
I think ultimately we would like to see a ban on textiles in landfills. Like so many other materials here lately, 18 states have passed bans on electronics in landfills, and that has really increased reuse and recycling of electronics. And I think ultimately in order for us to increase recycling from 15 to 50%, we will need to also ban or somehow encourage people to recycle more textiles.
Do you see your company getting involved in recycling in other areas beyond textile?
We are very focused and specialized on textiles and clothing right now, but definitely that's a possibility. As we're building this infrastructure nationwide, it's possible that we could also capture other materials, and we have started a pilot in Seattle now with cell phones, where we're using our collection bins to also collect cell phones.
Yes, cell phones actually can still be used to dial 911 even after all the minutes are gone.
That's correct.
Well, Mattias Wallander, CEO of USAgain, with a Wilkes-Barre location on South Empire Street, more than 1,000 collection bins all across Pennsylvania, 10,000 collection bins in 15 states, handling textile recycling. I thank you for joining me this morning on Sunday Magazine.
Thank you for inviting me.